guys, it's Mandy for Mandy Plays, and in today's video I'm going to share with you my theories and prediction as to, what types of games we might see after Breath of the Wild. I've been wanting to talk about a Zelda topic for a long time, and I thought, maybe I'll give my 2 cents on what I think Nintendo is cooking up with the Zelda franchise, so stay tuned. Okay, so a little backstory. The Zelda franchise is my favorite gaming franchise of all time. I'm a big fan, and I thought, maybe I should talk about it more since it is my favorite gaming franchise. And I do have a few theories as to where Nintendo might be going with the Zelda franchise after Breath of the Wild, because we all know that game is wonderful. That game is, 10 out of 10. It is fantastic, but it did take a long time to make. But I do have some really cool ideas to share with you. And first one, highly am sure that Nintendo is gonna do remakes of their old Zelda titles. I specifically would like Phantom Hourglass and a Spirit Tracks remake, because those games are fantastic, but they're highly underrated because of the gameplay that needs a little upgrade, and the visuals need a little upgrade. And it would do wonderful on the Switch. It was on the 3DS, so actually it was on the DS, so it'll do wonderful on the Switch or the 3DS. So I'm hoping for remasters of those two, because I have the games, but not a lot of people have them, and they're really expensive to buy. But they're really, really solid Zelda games that I think, more people should experience. So, yep, that's my first two games that I want remastered. I want the ports of Twilight Princess and Zelda Wind Waker to move to the Switch. Realistically, I hope they put it in a bundle. It would be kind of neat, especially because they have two of the opposite art styles, so it would be weird to see them next to each other on the box art. But I don't think Nintendo's gonna go that route. That would be so cool, in my opinion. It would be like a collector's edition like we had for the GameCube a while ago. I really think they're gonna just port it over to the Switch, because they did a remastered for both games already for the Wii U, and we all know what happened to the Wii U, so a Switch port is waiting to happen. And my next one, I hope this one happens as well, and I assume you guys know what I'm talking about, and that's a Skyward Sword remake or remaster. If you guys don't know, Skyward Sword is my favorite Zelda game, even above Breath of the Wild. So if it gets a remastered with new controls, new features, mechanics, and new even more added to the story, I would go through the roof. That would make me so happy. But that aside, I think Skyward Sword is a game that a lot of people don't really like because of the controls. They're very motion control. Actually, they're really motion control dependent. So if they upgraded the controls and made it where you could either do it motion control or with a regular control, I think it would reach a bigger audience, and more people will appreciate Skyward Sword for the phenomenal game it is. It does still have its linearity, but that's within the game. You can't change that. But I think that would be a good move. Cross my fingers, Nintendo. Crossing my fingers. Whew. Okay. Another game that would benefit from the Switch, I think all games will benefit from the Switch, but we're talking about Zelda, and that is the Minish Cap. That game is awesome. That would be more of a remastered because it's a Game Boy Advance game. That would be great on the Switch. Honestly, Minish Cap is a game most people haven't played, and it's very underrated, but it's a very great Zelda game. I played the Minish Cap on the Wii U at the eShop, and I had to play on my TV and the freaking pad, but it looked perfectly fine, and I had a blast playing it. So imagine if they, put a new coat of paint on it and made it optimized for the Switch, it would be an awesome game. I'm not going to address the older Zelda games because I don't think they're gonna get remasters or remakes because they're beyond like their age. They're better played like in their NES, SNES title format. Time to move to the other segment of my video where I talk about new future Zelda games and what they might look like. So while I think we won't get a full Zelda game like Breath of the Wild for another 5 or 6 years, I do think we're maybe gonna get a filler title like let's say akin to A Link Between Worlds or Triforce Heroes. I would love if they had the 2-link style with the Breath of the Wild aesthetic. Well, they kind of do, but something like that. And it's not gonna be a grander scope as Breath of the Wild, so I'm expecting like a game that's not really canon, but like a side story to Breath of the Wild. Like again, the Triforce Heroes. While I don't want it to be like Triforce Heroes, I think they're gonna go that route where they take you to an alternate world or alternate dimension, somewhere where it doesn't bother the Breath of the Wild continuity or something, and it's gonna be like a side game. Plus they have Hyrule Warriors, which is another spin-off title of the Dynasty Warriors style gameplay. So there's like a bunch of ways Nintendo could go about doing this. I hope they do it right. I don't just want to see shovelware and just slap on the Zelda name. I don't think Nintendo would do that because they haven't in the past. They don't really slap around Zelda lightly. And so I have great hopes for the future. And while we may not be getting, a Breath of the Wild type game for Zelda in the near future, I still think we're gonna get lots of Zelda content and lots of Zelda remakes and stuff like that. So I hope you guys are as hyped as I am. And if you're not, well, okay. So if you like this video, please leave a like. And if you have any ideas or your own theories or predictions as to what kind of Zelda games might come out post Breath of the Wild, then please leave it in the comments below. I would appreciate it. And if you like videos like these and many more, please consider subscribing. I would appreciate it, and thank you. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. You can follow me on Twitter at Mandy Lee Plays, and play a good game. Bye.